Dear students, good morning. Today we are going to take fifth module of lesson Force and Pressure. The topics including this module are pressure, pressure exerted by liquid and gases, and also atmospheric pressure. At the end of this module, you can able to explain what is pressure and its unit, and also you can identify the pressure exerted by liquid and gases, and also understand about atmospheric pressure. Our first topic in this module is pressure. We are going to discuss this topic with the help of an activity. Try to push a nail into a wooden plank by its head. Did you succeed? Try now to push the nail by the pointed end. Could you do it this time? And also try cutting vegetable with a blunt and a sharp knife. Which is easier? We know that the pointed end of a nail push easier into a wooden plank, and also sharp knife make easy cutting of vegetable. That means where is the area of contact is decreasing, there is a greater force is acting. So the force acting on a unit area of a surface is called pressure. So pressure is equal to force by area on which it acts. At this stage, we consider only those forces which act perpendicular to the surface on which the pressure is to be computed. SI unit of pressure is Pascal or Newton per meter square. We already explained if the area of contact is increasing, the pressure is decreasing. So, why snowshoes has broad base? Can you say what is the answer of this question? Because the broad base of this snowshoes reduce the pressure, so it prevent sinking into the snow. And also, can you explain now why shoulder bags are provided with broad straps and not thin straps? Wide shoulder pad reduces the pressure acting on the shoulder, so we can easy to carry this bag. Our next topic is pressure exerted by liquid and gases. We are discuss this topic with the help of an activity. Take a transparent glass tube or a plastic pipe. The length of the pipe tube should be about 15 cm and its diameter should be 5 to 7.5 cm. Also take a piece of thin sheet of a good quality rubber, say a rubber balloon. Stretch the rubber sheet tightly over one end of the pipe. Hold the pipe at the middle, keeping in a vertical position as shown in the figure. Ask one of your friends to pour some water in the pipe. Does the rubber sheet bulge out? Note also the height of the water column in the pipe. Pour some more water. Observe again the bulge in the rubber sheet and the height of the water column in the pipe. Repeat this process a few more times. Can you see any relation between the amount of the bulge in the rubber sheet and the height of the water column in the pipe? You can observe that the height of the water column is increasing. The bulging of this rubber tube or the balloon is increasing. That means pressure exerted by water at the bottom of the container depends on the height of its column. Moving to the next activity. Take a plastic bottle. You can take a discarded water or soft drink bottle. Fix a cylindrical glass tube a few centimeters long near its bottom as shown in the figure. You can do so by slightly heating one end of the glass tube and then quickly inserting it near the bottom of the bottle. Make sure that the water does not leak from the joint. If there is any leakage, seal it with molten wax. Cover the mouth of the glass tube with a thin rubber sheet as you did in first activity. Now fill the bottle up to half with water. What do you observe? Why does the rubber sheet fixed to the glass tube bulge this time? pour some more water in the bottle. If there any change in the bulge of the rubber sheet, you can observe that if the water is more, the bulging of the rubber sheet is also more. So we can say that a liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container. Suppose if we inflate a balloon, what happens there? If the size of the balloon is increasing when the air is filling it, that means the gas is also exert pressure on the walls of their containers. We are going to discuss our next activity. Take an empty plastic bottle or a cylindrical container. You can take a used tin or a talcum powder or a plastic bottle. Drill 4 holes all around near the bottom of the bottle. Make sure that the holes are at the same height from the bottom as shown in the figure. Now fill the bottle with the water. What do you observe? Do the different streams of water coming out of the holes fall at the same distance from the bottle? What does this indicate? We can see that if the holes are at the same height from the bottom, the water coming out of the holes falls at the same distance from the bottle. So we can infer that liquid exert equal pressure at the same depth. And also you can observe in a second figure, the weaker water force is in top of the container and the strongest jet is in the bottom of the container. So we can say that pressure increases with depth. Our next topic is atmospheric pressure. You know that there is air all around us. This envelope of air is known as the atmosphere. The atmospheric air extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth. The pressure exerted by this air is known as atmospheric pressure. We know that pressure is force per unit area. If we imagine a unit area and a very long cylinder standing on it filled with air, then the weight of the air in the cylinder is the atmospheric pressure. But how large or small is the atmospheric pressure? Let us get an idea about its magnitude. Take a good quality rubber sucker. It looks like a small rubber cup. Press it hard on a smooth plain surface. Does it stick to the surface? Now try to pull it off the surface. Can you do it? When you press the sucker, most of the air between its cup and the surface escape out. The sucker stick to the surface because the pressure of atmosphere acts on it to pull the sucker off the surface. The applied force should be large enough to overcome the atmospheric pressure. This activity might give you an idea about the magnitude of atmospheric pressure. In fact, it would not be possible for any human being to pull the sucker off the surface if there were no air at all between the sucker and the surface. Suppose if the area of your head were 15 centimeter into 15 centimeter, how much weight of air would you be carrying on your head? The weight of air in a column of the height of the atmosphere and area 15 into 15 centimeter is nearly equal to the weight of an object of mass 225 kilogram. That means it is 2250 Newton. The reason we are not crushed under this weight is that the pressure inside our bodies is also equal to the atmospheric pressure and cancels the pressure from outside. Today we discussed about pressure exerted by liquid and gases, and atmospheric pressure. Hope you understood this module. Read your textbook and watch this video. Thank you.